So here's me feeling totally inspired and soloing on my Harmony Rocket H59. Hard to even tell you how it felt recording that solo and feeling the guitar just pouring inspiration into me and coming out through my fingers. So today's guitar discovery is the Harmony Rocket. It's a trip to the stars, and today's stars trippin'. Tell you how I discovered the Harmony Rocket. I may have seen these before, but I never really took note of them until I was watching a Tiny Desk concert one day. It was featuring an Australian singer-songwriter named Courtney Barnett, and she was playing a 3-pickup Harmony Rocket. It took me a while to figure out what it was. I was mesmerized, though, by the look of the guitar and the tone. She was playing it clean through an Epiphone Blues Custom amp, and it was just awesome. So I went online and started doing some research, and I found one on reverb.com that was just absolutely pristine, just a beautiful specimen of a 1965 Rocket with 3 DeArmond Gold Foil Pickups, listed for about $1,100. Clearly, it had been a closet classic. It was probably sitting in a closet, climate controlled, in the case, never being played for all those years, because this was a pristine guitar. So I took note of it. I even told my son about it. And through a series of amazing coincidences, about a month later, I became the owner of this guitar. It was gifted to me by a subscriber of the channel. So the very same guitar that I was drooling over actually became mine. Here it is in my hands. So I want to read you a little something from this really killer book, Ron Rothman's Harmony, the People's Guitar, 1945 to 1975. I want to read you something from the preface written by Jay Pilzer of New Hope Guitars. He says, "These are in their own way iconic guitars from an era when the United States was gaining dominance in both music and manufacturing. The triple pickup 6-knobbed Rocket in a bright red finish is the guitar equivalent of the 1957 DeSoto. The same exuberant joy in life is present in both. There is neither subtlety nor restraint in either of them. They speak to a time when a real man needed lots of knobs on his guitar and fins that reached for heaven." I read that and I just thought, yes, that's true, and it really explains how I felt. I must be a guy who wanted fins. I've always loved those 57 DeSotos. So for me, yeah, it spoke to me, and I was like, that's just a cool guitar. I'd love to see one, play one, etc. And I really can't overstate how once I had it tweaked by my luthier, this guitar turned into a piece of magic. So all of the Harmony Rockets, these were introduced in the late 50s. And they all had the same DeArmond Gold Foil pickups. The H53 was the single pickup. It retailed for $85 at the time. The H54 was the 2 pickup, retailed for $117.50. The H56 was the 2 pickup with vibrato. Don't know what that price was. The H59 was the 3 pickup, and that was a whopping $145 guitar. Now do keep in mind that when you translate the prices from that era into today's dollars, these still weren't cheap guitars. These were Harmony's midline, sort of upper midline. And, if you take that $145, you translate it into today's dollars, it's $1,200. Ironically, that's about what it was listed for on Reverb as a, quote, new or mint condition guitar from that era. So looking at the catalogs of that era, You can see how these were marketed. They were ultra-thin cutaway electrics with rich, new polished cherry red finish. Outstanding modern design, quality, and value. Rich cherry red finish, lightly shaded, highly polished. Harmony's ultra-thin arch tone chamber construction, celluloid bound edges. Ultra-slim neck, steel rod reinforced, uniform feel. Straight line, narrow fingerboards, short scale for easy chording, comping, or solo work. Cutaway design makes fingering easy to last fret. I love it. So interestingly enough, if you look for these vintage rockets today, they're going to be in widely varying condition. But Reverb.com is a good source, sometimes eBay. There are other places where you can find vintage rockets. You'll see them usually starting in the $400, $450 range, and then going up from there depending on condition and how many pickups you're getting. They go up as high as $2,000 at some times, depending on the specific market at that time. So once I got my own rocket, I really wanted to know what other musicians have used rockets. And I was actually really surprised to discover there's a who's who of current modern day musicians who have played or are playing Harmony Rockets at some point and looking for that funky tone. They're going for something funky and real instead of pristine and plastic. Here's to my fellow rocket scientists, just a few of whom are Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day, Dan Auerbach of the Black Keys, Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins, Wayne Coyne from Flaming Lips, John Foreman of Switchfoot, Brittany Howard from Alabama Shakes, one of the ultimate Nashville cats, Doug Lancio. He's played with John Hyatt, Patty Griffin, and lots of others. Ben Schneider from my pet band Lord Huron. And the inimitable Jack White, who to some extent we can credit for the resurgence of all kinds of funky-ass guitars. So that's your guitar discovery for the day, the Harmony Rocket in any model, vintage. You start looking around, you're going to see them everywhere just like I did. If you want to know more about this particular Harmony Rocket, check out this video. If you want to see all my videos, go to guitardiscoveries.com. Please do subscribe, click the bell so you get notified when new videos come out. I'm having fun with this Harmony series right now, but I'm going to be covering all kinds of topics, so please join me and subscribe. See you soon.